Hi, I'm Bob Vila. Welcome home again. It's a rainy day in Cambridge, but we're going to be talking landscape architecture today with Rick and Nancy Lamb, our architects, who are here to present their ideas for creating real urban spaces. I said I didn't want to mow a lawn in Cambridge. Also, we're taking you on a real urban expedition to the heart of New York City, where we'll be talking ceramic tile at Country Floors, selecting some beautiful tiles from all over the world that'll go in this house. Also, a look at how some of them will be installed. Stick around. It's good to have you home again.
Bob Vila's home again.
Well, let's get started with Rick and Nancy Lamb, our landscape architects.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Rick. Nancy, good to see you. And I guess we're going to look at the proposed conversion of the whole landscape, right?
We are. We are standing right here on the front porch.
Right.
It's your house. And out here is the street.
Yes.
And what we're proposing is that we draw from the neighborhood, create a hedged, enclosed area, creating a parking place here, moving it from where it was along here, because the new parking will then relate to the activity of getting to the kitchen and the whole family space.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Then we're going to sort of bracket this by drawing again from the neighborhood with birch trees on both sides.
So by drawing from the neighborhood, you mean using the same types of plant material that you find up and down the street?
Exactly.
And we do have beautiful birches around here.
We do.
What are these two here, Nancy?
Well, those are two crabapple trees, and always the plan is moving and changing around. And we feel that we should move them away from the house and put them out by the street, which will capture this part of the garden for the house, give you a lovely view from the dining room of the changing leaf color of the flowers, and then the apples
I like
in the
that
fall.
idea.
So
I also like keeping larger material away from the siding of the house and so forth to keep the moisture away.
it's a good idea.
Speaking of moisture, we have a mud puddle behind. I mean,
It's called progress.
It's progress. That's right. We've removed all the concrete, the broken up driveway that was here, and this will eventually become my service yard, dog run or whatever.
That's right. And the great thing about the rain today is that we're putting down the base for this future terrace in the back, and this rain will just help to give it a really solid feeling that you'll be talking about later on.
Yeah, my big request was to be able to have a backyard that I didn't have to mow.
That's right, just sweep.
Yeah. Let's take a look out here, though, in the mud.
Bob, we're going down here to the front yard where we're using this as the whole staging area for all the construction materials.
Yeah. And so everything's being delivered here, dumped here, crushed stone, stone dust. And I see that most of the bluestone for the backyard terrace is here, right, Nancy?
Well, we're really thrilled with it. It's a lilac color, has nice texture, and we have all of this staging area for the stone to go underneath the bluestone so it won't move.
It really is a lilac-colored stone. It plays well against the color of the house.
Well, it does that, but that may change in time, but it's very nice with your foundation as well. So
Indeed.
it's a great color.
Good choice. That's what you hire a landscape architect for. What have you done with all the landscape that was here, Rick?
The material that you and your family decide to keep, we've all balled, we've removed, we put in the back and protected it.
Okay.
This tree, this birch tree that was here, is a little small for one that's been here a long time. We found that we've put it in its permanent place, moving it from your front yard.
Yeah, it was right in the middle of where the proposed parking tray goes.
Exactly, which is in this area.
But it's healthy, right?
It is healthy. We have, because we found some clay, we've put it on, we've dug extra deep, put a gravel base so it drains well, and then have put it in place. The burlap is wrapped when it was moved, and that will then be removed and cut back.
Exactly, because otherwise it can wake up and really damage the bottom of the tree.
And create a damaging area right around the trunk base.
Good. Well, I hope it stops raining because we got a lot of work to do here.
It's good for this.
Thanks, Rick. Thanks, Nancy. We got to break for messages. When we come back, we'll be shopping for tiles in New York City. Stick around. We're in New York City, right around the corner from Union Square, and we're visiting Country Floors, a wonderful company that was started about 30 years ago by Norman Carlson, a New York City photographer who traveled extensively every year in Europe and discovered the beauty of the ceramic tile industries and the tradition of tile in countries like Italy and Portugal and France and Spain. And he started importing them. He started the business out of his basement on 26th Street here in New York, but today it's grown to be one of the best sources for ceramic tiles in the country. Beth Kaufman is going to be our design consultant. She'll give us a tour because we're not only going to look at European tiles, but also the revived artisanship of American ceramic tiles. Come on in. Hi, Beth.
Hi, Bob. How are
Boy,
you?
what a busy place, huh?
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
You need a design consultant, though, because it's like going into a candy store. Your eyes can be overwhelmed. I mean, right away,
That's what
the first thing I look at is very reminiscent of Malibu potteries that we used when we were out building a house in Malibu, California. This is something very familiar to me. Is this new?
Right. This is a manufacturer that we have out in California. The tiles can be used for wall material and for floor material, and also light commercial use.
So it's really replicas of the work that was pioneered in Malibu back in the 1920s.
Yes, it is.
Now, something like this carpet, how much is that worth?
Something like this could cost $6,000 approximately.
Wow.
They have the capabilities of making it bigger and smaller to fit your needs.
And then over in this corner, this is what I really associate with country floors, the patterned European tiles.
Right, a lot of people do. This material is manufactured in Holland. It is hand painted. A lot of the designs are of Dutch life.
What I like is how you've mixed the ceramic tile with stone
Right.
to create this mantle and overmantle. It really sets the tile off.
Right. Natural stone is something that's very popular right now. It's tumbled marble. It comes in a lot of different colors and different sizes.
These are actual squares of marble that are cut to tile size, and then they're tumbled to make them look old.
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Right.
And what about this corner setup here? Is that also stone?
This is another display that we have of our natural stone. This is one variation of one color, and it shows how we mix the different colors together to make a really nice vignette for a bathroom.
And this is the traditional Dutch blue Delft, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Boy, and look at this. Tell us about
Yeah.
all these displays on the wall here.
This material over here is out of a factory in Portland, Oregon. They have the capabilities of making all of these relief tiles in different colors and different sizes.
So the relief is actually applied to the tile?
The relief is a mold,
I see.
and then
Sure.
they apply the glaze to that.
I love
Right.
the display back here with all the little wild critters and the fish and the bears and.
Right. Again, this is another example of how we can combine all of these different materials. We have these great branches right here that can frame the mirror.
It's beautiful. And what about a staircase like this?
Well, this tile is terracotta from Italy. It is also indoor and outdoor. It's non-slippery when wet. And these tiles right here on the risers are from Spain. They're in our stock in our warehouse in Queens. This is reminiscent of a Moorish design, and it's also a very classical design.
Yeah, I love the white and blue combined with the terracotta.
Oh,
it's
it's
very,
great.
very
Works
nice.
a lot of places.
And then what about something like this? Is this antique Roman mosaic or what?
Well, it could be, but it's new. It's a mosaic that it comes pre-netted. It's sold by the linear foot.
By almost like a square foot there, huh?
Right. Well, this particular one is a square foot, but they're usually sold by the linear foot.
What's the price range for something like this?
Something like this can run anywhere from $25 a linear foot to $175 a linear foot.
So something like this might be just 25 bucks a foot.
Exactly.
Depends on how complex
and
it gets.
We can change the colors as they work for your home.
Boy, that fountain, that floral thing is really gorgeous. Tell me
Right.
about it.
This is a floral from France. It comes in different sizes. This particular one is $4,100.
And do they come netted or are they loose?
No, this is a loose tile. They'll have numbers on the back so that you can make it, you can put the picture together.
Now over here, this looks like the workstation, huh?
This is where we have all our fun and we design all of our different bathrooms.
And these are some of the ones that are going into our project. This one, for example, I believe is a guest bathroom,
This
right?
is the guest bathroom. It's a very traditional 3x6 metro tile with a Portuguese floral design.
Beautiful. And then over here right next to it, this looks very familiar.
Right, right. This is going to be the border tile in the floor with a matching tile that is going to be made in this color. And then the walls are going to be this 4x4 hand-molded terracotta tile.
Gorgeous. And over here, is this the powder room choice?
This is the powder room. This is a mosaic tile. Again, it comes pre-netted. The floor is actually going to be this color mosaic, and then this is going to be the molding around the base of the floor.
Fabulous. And this is the tumbled stone we were talking about.
That's the tumbled marble again,
Great.
right? But it's going to be in smaller sizes.
But these are my favorites, the cobalts and the blues, and for some reason I really associate this with country floors.
Yes. This again is a Spanish tile. Used with our Portuguese brushstroke. This is a scroll border, also Portuguese, with some Spanish cobalt blue tiles that we're going to be using on the countertops.
It's a beautiful blend, and this is such an extraordinary place with kids and moms and interior designers and everybody all at once.
Right.
We hate to leave. Thanks for the tour.
Thank you.
Stick around. We'll be right back after these messages. And here in the master bath, Eddie Zawisco has gotten a head start with some of this beautiful material and is working on the shower. But I want you to get a close look at this tumbled marble, because right now it's kind of in the rough stage. It looks like ancient stone, but when it's sealed later on, it'll look like that. Of course, Eddie's already got it in place here. And you can see that it's going to be just a beautiful contrast between this terracotta bisque right here. That's, you know, what you see is what you get. And then this stone. But we're in the shower, and you know, a key thing when you're building a shower is to make sure that it's not going to leak. And I want you to take a look at a flashback that we shot about a month ago, really, where we went through all the different steps of waterproofing this area. Watch. And joining us now is Frank Iderola, our plumbing contractor, and we're talking the shower stall in my bathroom here. Now, Frank, why do you have to have a copper pan in a shower stall?
Well, it's actually what we call a safe pan. What it does is collect any of the water that leaks through the tile or through whatever material is used to finish the shower off.
Yeah, especially if you have some sort of a grout failure.
Exactly.
And you start to get water seeping in between the ceramic tiles. We're going to have a very high quality American-made ceramic tile in here, but still, you never know that the grout won't fail at some point.
Exactly.
So you're working on the drain area. What kind of drain is that?
Well, this is a shower strainer, and it's adjustable so that we can adjust the height for the pour, which is the cement pour into the pan that is going to be the base of the
Sure.
tile when it's put in.
Right. It'll be a mud job, and what you're saying is into that piece you bring the second piece, which is the finish, and that has over an inch of adjustment so that you can have that much mud thrown in there, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so do you have to solder this now?
Yes, I will. I just fluxed it up, Bob, so I'm going to give it a little heat, and I'm going to fuse the shower strainer to the pan. We've got two different thicknesses of metal here, Bob, and what's important is that we make sure that we get the correct temperature, which is 450 to 500 degrees in both metals, and that we melt the solder at the same time we reach that temperature. So it's kind of a touch and go situation between the using of the torch and the solder.
But how can you tell when they're both hot enough?
When the solder starts flowing and it sticks to both pieces of metal, then we know we're going. If it doesn't, then I have to work it until it does. And it's starting to flow right now. You can see I'm starting to move the solder along the seam, and behind me is the finished product. Now, there's two ways of doing this. You can do this with a soldering iron, or you can do it with a torch. The thing with soldering irons is that you've got to continually use hot irons, and it means that sometimes you have to stop and wait for the irons to heat up. But with a torch, as you can see, I've got a continuous flow here, and I'm doing a continuous job of soldering along this pan.
Terrific. Now, aren't you worried about burning the PVC pipe there?
No, Bob, because this is temporary. It's what we call a gunner, and it's only to line up the fixture that we're installing in the proper location. We remove this and place the permanent piece in later on.
Okay. Now, in addition to all this preparation, the walls of the shower stall are going to be tiled actually in a marble product, and because marble is somewhat porous, we want to take extra precautions. So Danny Ruffini is helping us to put on a moisture barrier, which is the same material that you use as an ice and water shield on the roof. Let's see. This, of course, is pretty forgiving stuff so that we can trim it as we need to. right onto the studs, over the insulation, since we are, of course, on an outside wall here. Need to put a little bit of a cut on this corner over here. There we go. This is number 3. All right, now we're installing the cementitious board right over the felt paper and the moisture barrier, and we're using a double-threaded screw made out of a corrosion-resistant metal. And we're taking all of these precautions, as I said, because you don't want to have to repair a shower stall due to any kind of water damage for many, many years to come if you can avoid it. All right, and we put these in every couple of feet, right, Dan?
Yeah, every foot or so.
That's right. Okay, we've got a break for some messages. Don't go away. The tiles that we selected for my bathroom here are a combination of beautiful wall tiles from Italy and then this exquisite border and floor tiles that are actually made by artisans in California. And Greg Rocklin, our architect, had a pivotal role in putting together the design. And why don't you explain it? Because it's one thing to have a client deal with a tile setter if you're just doing a plain, simple bathroom, but with something this complicated, you need help.
Yes, you do. I think each one of these tiles has a way of going together, and you have to be very careful that when you do a whole bathroom, as the tiles all the way come around, they still meet, and the design flows all through the bathroom.
Right.
And this was done through a set of drawings that were prepared on a computer. The computer is very useful because it can repeat patterns, which often happens in tile situations. And on the floor, we had a very difficult design to resolve in that this border, which is very nice, had no corners, and when we had to turn 135 degrees or over here 90 degrees,
Yeah.
you had to find a place in the tile pattern that'll make that turn.
Yeah, because when you say it has no corners, if you look at the straight run of it, the design of the tile is just almost like a chain of continuous links. But when you try to, well, you explain it.
When you try to make it go, here's just a 135 degree cut, and you see this doesn't work. But you can find a place where this, if you move the tile back and forth like we did here, where the pattern does continue, so we can get the chain to go around this corner.
So that all the green lines at least intersect here and create another shape, but at least it comes out logically correct.
That's right. And this is the kind of thing that an architect can do. So when the mason gets to lay the tile, he doesn't have to try to figure this out in the field.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about the whole issue of ordering and the inventory that you need, and not ordering too many, because these are not inexpensive?
That's right. Once you draw all the bathroom walls, which I did, then you can count the tiles up, understand which shapes you need, and you can make sure the tile order is complete. Because once the mason starts laying this, you're going to want all the tile here.
Right. And the complexity of this also has to do with ordering tiles from different parts of the world.
That's right.
Pretty complicated. Thanks a lot. Okay. We're running out of time. I hope you can join us next week. We're going to be working on the landscape. Interesting stuff. Hardscape, really, creating a retainage system, a retainer wall for a terrace, and then a large bluestone paved terrace in the backyard. And a little trip to the home of Frederick Law Olmsted, the landscape designer who designed Central Park in New York. Hope you'll be around. Till then, I'm Bob Vila. It's great to have you home again.